dialogues and cooperation in the digital economy and vaccine development are also on the agenda. This year is designated as the China-ASEAN Year of Digital Economy Cooperation. China's value-added digital economy registered nearly $5.5 trillion in 2019, accounting for 36% of the country's GDP. That's a 1.4% increase compared with the previous year. China has developed rapidly in digital infrastructure such as 5G, cloud computing, and AI. Malaysia's Consul General in Nanning says the developments will benefit digital trade between ASEAN and China. In order to foster a bilateral e-commerce industry chain, a Guangxi-based infotech company has created some apps used in ASEAN countries. ASEAN Secretary General Lim Jak-khoi says China is leading the development of digital infrastructure and is an important partner of ASEAN in promoting digital economy. For more analysis, let's now talk to Ibrahim Kholilul Rohman. He is a lecturer at the Faculty of Economics and Business in Indonesia University. Welcome to the program. Let's talk about digital cooperation first. What can we expect from work between China and ASEAN countries in that sector?
Well, yes. If we look into the development of ASEAN digital economies, we can see similarities that the growing of e-commerce has been signaling the growth of new economy in the region. The size for digital sectors or internet economy has been reaching almost 500 million by the end of 2020, by which Indonesia itself contributed to almost 50% of the size. So that will be starting point where China and ASEAN can collaborate more to share and to make the balance of flow between countries so that the benefit of digital sector, digital economy can be more beneficial for both parties, ASEAN and China.
Mr. Rohman, what do you make of China's role in that process? What more can China do to make it a mutually beneficial cooperation pattern?
Yeah. So if we look into, or if we disentangle the characteristics of digital economy in ASEAN, we can see some similarities but also differences. For instance, if we look into, for instance, Vietnam, in 2005, they only exported about 2 billion of electronic equipment. But now by the end of 2018, 2019, they can export almost 18 billion of electronic equipment. So some countries are able to catch up or to facilitate this cooperation with China. For instance, Vietnam is able to increase their capacity to export more electronic component and more manufacturing of ICT products, whereas Indonesia, for instance, has been even declining by starting 2010. So that the cooperation between China and ASEAN should be aimed at facilitating how transfer of knowledge, transfer of technology can happen between China's manufacturing industry and ASEAN countries' manufacturing industry, such a way that we can achieve decent level of playing field in exportation and importations of ICT goods and ICT manufacturing. Whereas for e-commerce, for instance, the growth in ASEAN has been tremendous during 2019, 2020. The growth in ASEAN in e-commerce, size of e-commerce has been about 40% to 80%. Indonesia is, for instance, reaching 50% in 2019 and 2020. By that, the collaboration should be to allow more flow between two countries so that ASEAN is not only importing and not only acting as net importers in the flow of commodities facilitated by e-commerce.
All right, Ibrahim Kholilul Rohman with Indonesia University. Thank you so much for your expertise.